With me, I have Larry Wilson. He is the CEO we call it the organization FABT, First Arkansas Bank and Trust, an excellent organization in Arkansas. And here's another opportunity for you to learn from another great bank doing great things. So welcome, Larry.
Good morning, Roxanne. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. So let's start off by having you tell us a little bit about your bank. Where are you? What's the size? What are you up to? Give us a little bit of an understanding about, as we like to call you, FABT.
Great. We are a family-owned bank in Jacksonville, Arkansas. We have around $790 million in total assets. We've been in business since 1949. My dad and some others started the bank at that point, and we've been here in this community in Jacksonville, just outside of Little Rock, all that time. We have 22 locations across central and north central Arkansas, mostly rural and suburban. We're not in the Little Rock market directly, so that pretty well describes what our situation is.
Got it. Okay. And you were just featured by Forbes. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's pretty exciting.
It was very exciting. Forbes magazine came out with a list of banks that they recognized as outstanding banks. And I think it was about 2.3% of the banks in the country. And we were one of them. We were one of three in Arkansas. And that was a huge thing for us. Apparently, Forbes had done some market research with customers, and apparently they talked to our customers who like us. And
this is a good thing.
Yeah, and it was a wonderful honor to be recognized that way.
That's a wonderful honor. And I believe they were rating you on the client experience. Is that right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about ROA or ROE or deposit growth or anything like that. It was depositor experience, customer experience.
Excellent. Okay. So tell me a little bit about, now you've always been running a great bank, and that's indisputable. But tell us a little bit about what was it like before we started working together back in 2016?
Well, we were making some progress. We were not as cohesive as we are today. We had some areas of problems with communication between different units of the bank. Nothing that was glaring, but we just didn't feel like it was where it should be, and as a result, we weren't able to focus on the things that mattered about growing and going forward. And so the association with the Emmerich Group has significantly changed that and allowed us to have much better lines of communication and work together much better.
And you've done a wonderful job, as your customers are now telling you through that research done by Forbes. So tell us, was there anything that would have prevented you from working with the Emmerich Group at the time that you were making the decision? You probably had some, but will they mess this up, or how will this go? So what were you wrestling down at the time that you made a decision to move ahead?
I think the main thing was that we suspected that there was no real secret sauce that we didn't all individually know, but that we hadn't really put it together and didn't have the time to put it together and didn't have the focus to follow up and see that we put it together. And so it became obvious to us that if we had someone behind us with a whip and to make sure that we focused on the right things, that we would do a much better job and grow our bank much better.
Kind of like the Olympic gold medalist that wants to make sure that they get the gold, take it over the moon. So what happened to change your, that made you want to change at that time?
We just, we knew that we weren't working together as well as we could and should, and that our culture was a little fractured, and we just weren't pulling together like we should. And it's difficult to say exactly what was involved with that, but we just weren't getting the results that we thought we should, and we were struggling in some areas, and felt like if we were all pulling together, we would be able to help those areas more than we were at the time. And so it has absolutely benefited us, and the lines of communication and our culture overall is top notch. I don't know that it's appropriate to mention it at this time, but another honor that we recently received was that we were named as one of the best places to work in Arkansas, the whole state. And that was based on a survey that was done with our employees. And one of the things I was most pleased about was the high percentage of people that participated in the survey. It was, I think it was over 90% or right at 90%. And of those 90% of that 90% rated us very favorable or favorable as a place to work. And that was huge. That was considerably higher than what we had achieved 4 years earlier in a similar survey. So that gives you an idea that we have grown from the previous survey, and obviously a significant factor in that was our association with Emmerich.
Excellent. So when we started working with you, we did a cultural survey, and then we give you ideas about how to improve the culture, and then you continue to implement that and move the score up. Tell me about some of the changes that you made, not only just to improve the culture, but also to better hit the goals that you aspire to.
Well, obviously, when people are aware of the goals and review where they are in relationship to the goals on a regular basis, it's more meaningful. It inspires people to work towards those goals more so than if they don't know what the goal is, or they don't see how we're doing in relation to achieving that goal. And so that's not rocket science, but it's very difficult for organizations to discipline themselves to make those goals, review the goals, and encourage the associates to reach those goals.
Mm-hmm. So you've done a great job of improving the cross sales number, and that's always a wonderful measure of trust. That basically says that, and I believe that's where the Forbes research came in, was are your financial needs being met, is one of the things that they were looking for, which can't happen without cross sales done appropriately. And so tell me, what are some of the best things you did to help not only get that score up, but keep it up?
Well, the training that we received from the Emmerich Group was definitely a factor in getting those cross sales up. As we all know, some people are just strictly averse to sales, and so we try to focus on customer needs rather than the product of the month and push that on customers. That is not how we operate, and not how we worked with Emmerich in getting these customer contact folks up to speed on their techniques. And the techniques that were taught work, and the associates here do not feel pushy about trying to push services on the customers that they don't need. So as I tell them in our employee celebrations, everybody wins. The bank wins, and the customers win. So it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you've made some dramatic improvements in culture, and also in better servicing the client by making sure that all their needs are taken care of. What else is going on now that's feeling fantastic, that you're feeling good about?
Well, we've experienced growth in our asset size, our deposits, our loans. All of those have shown double-digit increases in the last couple of years. There were some factors beyond the norm in that time, but we still are very pleased with the results that we have achieved in the last couple of years, and we see no reason that we cannot build on that and continue to do well going forward. It's a momentum kind of thing, and I think momentum has joined our team, and we're doing very well.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay, so what would you say to someone who is facing similar challenges to what you were facing when you got started?
Well, if they want to make a difference and grow the bank and get everybody engaged, it is definitely work, but with good leadership and an all-in type attitude by senior management in the bank, it can happen, and it doesn't take forever to happen. It can happen fairly quickly, and it does take commitment by the senior folks in the bank. But if they make that commitment, it's a great thing to be a part of.
Fantastic. I always say, Larry, you have to choose your work. Either you choose the work to make the culture great and make sure you have a system in place to get A+ quality credits at premium pricing, or you work on cleaning up bad loans during a recession. It's one or the other. And so I haven't met anybody yet who hasn't accomplished great things without the work. And you and your team have done an excellent job with that. So thanks so much, Larry, for your time, and congratulations. What an epic year to be both voted best place to work in Arkansas and to be listed as one of the top banks in Arkansas and in the country, according to Forbes, in terms of client experience. Both are epic results, and you and your team should be applauded, and I hope you're still celebrating.
We are, and thank you very much. It's been a great run, and we really appreciate the help that you and you, Roxanne, and the staff have provided to our folks, and I'm very, very proud of what we've accomplished. We've done a great job. We've had fun doing it, and we're still having fun, and certainly appreciate the contribution that the Emmerich Group has made for us.
Thank you. The pleasure has been all ours. It has been a delight to work with you and watch that happen. And we've only just begun. The next leg of the journey is going to be fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.